What I have here is a boneless leg of lamb roast. This one weighs about 5 pounds, and I had a lot of questions about how to cook one of these on the smoker or on your grill after I did the lamb loin chop video a couple weeks ago. So today, I know Easter's coming up. A lot of people are going to be doing hams, and I've got a great Easter ham video on the YouTube channel. You can check it out or go to my website, HowToBBQRight.com. But today we're going to concentrate on lamb. A lot of people cook lamb for Easter, and it's great on the smoker. It's real simple. The main thing with lamb is you don't need very many ingredients. So you'll notice here that I've got some fresh herbs. I've got some from thyme and some fresh rosemary, and then I've got about 4 or 5, it's about half of a head of garlic just chopped up pretty good. And the only other thing you need is a little olive oil and some good kosher salt and some black pepper, and I like to use kind of a coarse ground black pepper. And that's really all the ingredients we're going to need on lamb. We're going to cook this for a couple hours on the smoker. I'm going to cook it on my Yoder, the YS480 out there, with some cherry pellets to give it a nice mild smoke. Lamb's kind of delicate. It doesn't have a lot of fat. It's going to take some smoke, so you don't want to use anything real harsh on it. You just want to use some good natural seasonings, some salt, some pepper, some herbs. Keep it moist. I like to cook lamb to about 140, 145 degrees, which is kind of medium, and that's just the perfect range for a lamb roast like this. We're going to get started. The first thing I'm going to do is get a good coat of olive oil. I've just got some extra virgin olive oil, and I'm just going to take it and kind of brush it all over the outside of this lamb. We start with the olive oil. Now we're going to come and give it a good dose of salt. I'm using a real coarse grained sea salt. Try to get it all over. Now give it some good coarse grained black pepper. Remember, we're keeping the flavors simple on this dish, but they're really going to pop through. You've got 4 or 5 ingredients that really just go together well, and it's really going to make that lamb shine. Now I'm going to flip it over, and we're going to do the same thing to this side. Now for these herbs, what I like to do is just put them in a bowl. Just kind of mix them up just a little. Combine them. Now let's flip this lamb back over here. We've got all these good seasonings on it. What we're going to do is we're just going to get it all in the little cracks and crevices where they took the bone out. Just want good coverage on it. Flip it back over, get the other side. Now you want to let this set for a little while. Let the olive oil start working on these herbs and this garlic and the salt and pepper, and it'll kind of make its own marinade here. You can let it sit in the refrigerator. 3 or 4 hours would be great. You know, I always like to give it at least that. Overnight would be okay, but it's really not necessary. You just want to give these herbs time to rehydrate a little in that olive oil and some of the juices that's going to come out of this lamb, and it'll soften things up, and it'll really work on getting the flavors into this meat. Now, you could cook it like this, but it's all kind of spread out. You'll notice to get it to cook even, I like to take Butcher Twine and kind of tie it up. So that's going to be the next step here. We're going to shape it to a good size roast, how I want it to cook. Then I'm going to take some Butcher Twine, just slide it right under. It's easier if you turn it here. Slide it right under it, bring the piece up, and just kind of double knot it. Nothing real crazy. This is going to make it cook real even. Slide your next piece in. And it may take 3 or 4 of these twines to get the shape I'm looking for. But I mean, a lot of times when you buy them, they'll come jet netted or something like that. And I like to take it out of that so you can get it all seasoned and all the little nooks and crannies on especially on these boneless ones that you see jet netted sometimes. Okay, I got it tied up here like I want. It's got a nice little roast shape to it, and I'm just gonna let it hang out for 2 or 3 hours in the refrigerator. We'll go get the grill fired up, and I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna make a base that we're gonna keep this lamb nice and moist with. I'll show you that recipe here in a second. Let me get this lamb in the refrigerator, and we'll get the smoker fired up here in just a little bit. Okay, now I want to show you the quick base that I'm going to use for this lamb today as it's slow smoking. What I have is 1 cup of just red wine vinegar. You can get this at any store. And I have some of the herbs that we used on the lamb. There's a little bit of garlic, some of that rosemary, some thyme. I'm going to add that to the vinegar. Then I'm going to give it a couple good pinches of salt just to flavor it up. And a little bit of coarse ground black pepper. Now what we're going to do is whisk in about half as much, so 4 ounces, half a cup of just vegetable oil. And this is going to make a baste. You can pretty much put whatever you want in there, but I'm just keeping it simple, keeping some of the same flavors going that I had in the seasonings on the lamb. And the one thing I picked up while I was down in New Orleans at the Hogs for the Cause event, a bunch of chefs were down there cooking goats and hogs and sheep, and they were cooking them whole over these fire pits. And instead of just using the old mop, like you know, a barbecue mop, or like you would expect they were using, they had a big stick and they had a ton of herbs tied on it. And I had to ask, you know, what's that for? And a lot of these herbs, and what the chefs told me was that the flavors in these herbs, as you use your baste and based on the meat, are going to transfuse down through the meat as it's cooking. So it made sense to me. So I'm going to give it a shot this time on this lamb. I've got some of that rosemary and some thyme in a bundle here, just tied on my wooden spoon. But I thought it was pretty neat. We're going to give it a try and see how it'll mop. But I'm anxious to see if it's going to make a difference. So I got my mop ready, got the base ready. We're going to get that meat out of the cooker just as soon as I get it fired up. Stick around. Okay, I've got my Yoder fired up here, and the roast has been sitting about 3 or 4 hours in the refrigerator. I brought it out about an hour ago when I started the grill just to get it stabilized, let it come up to room temperature, so I'm not putting stone cold meat on the grill. But this part's pretty simple. You just want to use a good wood source and get your heat good. It doesn't matter if you're cooking on a pellet grill, on a Weber, on a regular smoker. Just maintain your temp about 275 and add some good cherry wood to it, or any other kind of fruit wood, or a mild smoking wood. I'm using cherry pellets today, the Barbecuer's Delight pellets, because they're really mild and they put off a great flavor. I just want to center the roast up on the rack. I'm also, with lamb, it's real critical on internal temps. So I'm looking to get this roast to about 140 degrees, 145 range, which is right around medium. I don't want to take it anymore, it'll be too dry. The meat's, to me, well done lamb, you can keep it. I don't want to eat that. I'd rather be eating a hamburger or something. But for this lamb, I'm going to use my chef alarm here from ThermalWorks to really get an accurate temperature on the internals. And I'm going to baste it with the base that we made earlier. I'm looking for 140 degrees internal. Then we'll take it off and let it rest. It's probably going to take maybe about 2.5 to 3 hours, but we're going to watch it and see how it does at 275 with a little bit of smoke. Okay, we're back out at the grill. It's been about an hour. You can see I've climbed up to 106 already internal on the chef alarm, so we're coming right along. Now we're going to open up this grill and check it out. The leg lamb's looking great. It's getting some nice color on it. I just want to keep it nice and moist and keep some of these flavors going. So this is where I'm going to use this herb mop that I've got tied up here on my wooden spoon and put the base to it. Keep it nice and moist and get the lid closed, and we'll just keep monitoring the temp here. I'm going to set another timer for 1 more hour, and we'll keep on cooking. All right, it's been another 2 hours, and I'm just going to give another little baste with our vinegar and oil and herb mixture here. We're getting really close. Chef alarm over here is reading 138, so I know it's not going to take a whole lot more. I'm going to watch it about 15 minutes this time and just keep an eye on the internal temp. I want to stop this in the 140 to 145 range, which is going to be, with a little bit of carryover, it's going to be just about a perfect mid-rare medium lamb. And let me get my timer going for another 15 minutes here. We'll check it back, and it's real close to pulling this boneless leg of lamb roast off. About 15 minutes, that'll put us at about a 2 hour 15 minute cook time. So at 275 the entire time. Okay, it's been another 15 minutes, and as you can see on the chef alarm here, we're reading 143 internal. So I'm just going to verify that and make sure that it's right where we want it. It's right in the range what I was looking for. Color looks good on it. Let me stick in this end and see what we're reading. Take it just a minute here, this will thermal pop. Got 142, 143, dead on. So I'm saying this leg of lamb roast is done at the 2 hour 15 minute mark. Now the next critical step is just letting it rest. We're going to take it in and just let it chill out on the cutting board for at least 10-15 minutes. Let it stop cooking. I don't want to lose all this juice when I go to cutting in on it in a minute. So let me get my probe out here. Get it on the platter. And we're going to go inside, let this hang out for about 15 minutes, and we'll cut the twine off and then show you how to slice this leg of lamb, boneless leg of lamb roast. Whoa, about to drop that. We've let the lamb rest for about 10 minutes once I pulled it off the grill. The only thing I've done is pulled the butcher twine off. I went ahead and did that in a platter and set it on this cutting board. And now I'm just going to show you how you would cut it up. I'm just using a roast carving knife, but really you just want to make about, I guess, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, however thick you want to cook, however you want to serve it. But man, it really looks good. You can go thick or thin, however your guests like it, but this is about how I'd like to eat it. Good piece out of that center there, but check out the color on it. I would say that's medium all day long. It's got some pink to it, but it's still as juicy as it can be. I'm gonna take a little piece right here because you know I got to try it. I got to try it. I can't wait. That's good lamb. Try this recipe. If you're cooking lamb for Easter, you're not going to go wrong with it. The herbs really pop. Garlic gives it a good notes. But the main thing, the reason why you want to cook it this way is to let that natural flavor of the lamb shine through. And you can see it in this juice in here. If you like what we're doing here at How to Barbecue Right, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to put videos out try to do it every week, every 2 weeks. You can find us on Facebook. Send us some messages or comments. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we try to answer all questions. Also, check out HowToBBQRight.com. That's our webpage. You can find a lot of this information on the blog. We'll post these recipes too. So, thanks for watching.